Oh man, so Bitcoin responds powerfully after a 3% down day yesterday, now up almost 3% to recover some of those gains. At the same time, we've got Gary Gensler back on the hunt. Has he found his next altcoin victim? The SEC charged Bittrex with operating unregistered securities exchange, and in doing so, they called out a bunch of altcoins, with the most high-profile one being Algorand. Yes, what does this mean for Algorand? This is a project which we've been speaking about on this channel, and ironically, we're not the only ones to speak about it. Yes, because Gary Gensler himself was shilling Algorand. I'm going to play you a clip from Gary Gensler right now.
So governance is tough. You could create Uber or Lyft on top of a blockchain technology today. Well, maybe in 5 years you could. It would have the performance. Sylvia McCally's Algorand, who's a Turing Award winner at MIT that I work with. Sylvia's got a great technology that has the performance. You could create Uber on top of it. The question is then, who would update the software?
As you can see, this is a project which Gary Gensler himself was talking about. He worked with Sylvia McCally. He's held them in high regard. In fact, he shielded the project. And now he is coming out with statements in the Bittrex update saying that Algorand is a security. You can go through all the details here, but in essence, what they're focusing on with Algorand is the refund policy which they had, which allowed people to redeem their Algorand tokens. Now, what does this mean for the Algorand price? We're going to get into the charts. We're also going to look at what's happening for Bitcoin. Smash up likes, don't forget to subscribe. But the first thing is, it's not just that, right? When we started off this year, we saw that the SEC were coming out guns blazing. US regulators were meaning business, whether it was finding Kraken, whether it was Paxos and BUSD unwinding, they are after crypto. Operation Choke Point, we know about this, right? And this is just their next attempt at doing so, trying to bring Bittrex down and trying to, of course, bring down certain crypto projects as well. We also had Brian Armstrong come out to say, look, I won't rule out moving away from the US. I've tried my best, and I've always used Brian Armstrong and Coinbase as an example, right? Because this is a guy, and Coinbase is a company which wants to do things by the book. Other companies, you can say, okay, they want to go to different jurisdictions and be a little bit more shady, fine. Coinbase from the get-go said, we want to be publicly listed, we want to be transparent, tell us what the rules are here in the US, we will abide by them. But the SEC, and we know the CFTC as well, are just fighting, right? They don't know what the rules are. Gary Gensler is making it up as he goes along, as I've just proven to you. 1 minute he's talking about how Algorand could be the next platform for which Uber could be built on, right? The decentralized Uber could be built on a platform like Algorand, and now suddenly you're saying it's a security. What changed, right? You're making it up as you go along. So how are you giving guidance to Coinbase and these billion-dollar companies when you are making up the regulatory framework as you go along and you haven't got a Scooby on what you want to be doing? So this is what's going to happen, guys. Get used to more of this, because the reality is this is just bad for the US. This is not bad for crypto, because what you're going to notice is this move will happen. These companies are not dumb. They would just move away from the US, and there are plenty of countries like the UAE who incidentally have just updated to say their securities regulator is to start accepting license applications from crypto firms. I just got an update from the Bybit team that they've opened their head office in Dubai as well. This is a trend we're seeing here with countries who are sitting on the one side of the spectrum saying, look, we're open to business for crypto. We do not want to miss out on this innovation. And then you've got the old guard, kind of the America and their friends, who are saying, we're going to be a little bit more difficult. At their own peril. They're going to miss out on the innovation, and that's their prerogative to do so. It's not going to affect crypto either way. Let's now jump back into the Bitcoin chart, because Bitcoin has been really, really impressive here. We spoke yesterday in my update about how we've broken down from this channel, this parallel channel which we were in, and we spoke about how support will come in at this green line at 29,000. And look at that doji candle perfectly wicking down here to lows of 29,100. What a perfect level of support. Turns around at this location, and now we're at a critical juncture. I'm going to share with you the few options that we have for what could play out from here on Bitcoin. If you've made it this far into the video and you someday want to be able to read the markets, do technical analysis, trade as we are doing on this channel, then perhaps you may want to check out my free technical analysis from scratch course over on Skillshare. For those who aren't familiar, Skillshare is an online education platform. You sign up for a nominal amount each month and you get access to a wide variety of different courses. I personally use it to learn all sorts of things, from video editing to financial to using Excel and various other bits and pieces that you may want to learn. It's far better than YouTube on those elements, because on YouTube, everything is about retention, whereas with a course, you can put things in a structured curriculum, and that is exactly what I've done with my TA course. It's completely free for the first 30 days if you click the link in the description, ijaz.uk/TA, to take advantage of the TA course. Let me know what you think about it, and let's get back into this video. Now, before I do that, I need to update you on what's going on with Algorand, right? So yesterday, when all this drama started to unfold here on the daily chart, big down day here on Algorand, delivering 5.8% to the downside. But the bleeding has stopped today. We're at 1% here on Algorand. It's holding up pretty well at 22 cents. And I think people are starting to understand that, look, SEC can do what they want. They've not even dealt with their first case, Ripple, yet, right? They're still struggling with that Ripple case from many, many years ago. How are you going to come after other tokens and come after Coinbase at the same time? You're just spreading yourself thin, and you're just kind of making a mess of this whole situation. So I think a lot of people are feeling confident in the situation here at Algorand. And again, if you want to come over to the Crypto Rating Council, which is like the one of the councils that go ahead and rate different cryptos by how likely they are to be a security or otherwise. And for those who aren't familiar, the way one of the rulings that the SEC will use to determine whether something is deemed a security or otherwise is something called the Howey test. We've gone over this in previous videos. You can Google it. It's like 3 or 4 prongs to the Howey test, and you put each commodity to the test, and if it doesn't meet those requirements, if it does hit those requirements, then it's deemed a security. So they go ahead and do this, and you can see here Algorand has scored a 2 on a scale from 1 to 5, and Bitcoin is a 1. So Bitcoin is a pure commodity, and Algorand is sitting on this chart here at a 2. So this is something that does not seem to match with what's going on in terms of what the SEC is saying, and it looks like the detail is around the refund, where it says here in or around August 2019, the Algorand Foundation publicly offered algo investors an early refund opportunity, and algo investors returned a total of approximately 20 million algo tokens. So if we take a look at this key bit here at 0.175, in other words, in promoting the algo token sale, the Algorand Foundation tied the potential growth of the Algorand blockchain to potential demand for the algo token itself, and to its own commitment to preserving a price floor. So they're saying the 2 is correlated. Now we're going to have to look at how this plays out over time. I think that, you can see here the market isn't too concerned about this. This is not just tanked all the way down. In fact, it's still keeping higher lows. This is insane here by Algorand. You can keep a nice little uptrend going here, which you can monitor here on a technical perspective. So market's kind of absorbing this. They know that the SEC are kind of going gung-ho across every single sector, whether it's exchanges, whether it's crypto projects, whether it's everything else, and they're trying to battle stable coins, exchanges, crypto projects, all in one go. What's more important is trying to understand where is Bitcoin going to head to here in the short term. And if I jump back into the 4-hourly chart, we're at a critical moment here, like I said, and that moment is we managed to bounce, right? We ran all the way up here to the 31k, just shy of 31k on this candlestick, and now we visited back down here. And now what we need to see is, can we create that higher high? That higher high is going to be imperative here, right? Everything is going to be relevant, because if we go up now and we just drop back down again, now the control is with the bears. And if we then go create a lower low below 29 and we lose this horizontal support, the green line, that is not going to be a good look. Then we're downtrending and we've lost momentum. Okay. Similarly with RSI. RSI needs to go back up. We need to get it back up into this overbought territory to keep the move pushing along. Now, if we can go create a higher high, retest on the back end, keep going, that's fantastic. Higher highs and higher lows will keep this uptrend going. Now, equally, the third option that can happen is you can do this. You can miss your higher high, but you can also create a higher low. And what do you do when you create this? That's when you create a triangle, okay? So 3 options here, sorry. We can either uptrend out of here, higher highs and higher lows. We can either downtrend, miss the higher high, and start creating lower lows and forming a downtrend, or we can start consolidating into a triangle and watch for the breakout there. That is what I'm looking for. That move will then be huge. That is what we need to be looking for here on the Bitcoin price. If we also bring out the EMA ribbon, you can see how support is coming in from the EMA ribbon. This is impressive strength on the 4-hourly. I brought to you yesterday how we lost this 4-hourly EMA ribbon, but I wasn't too concerned. Now, if anybody remembers, why was I not too concerned? Because what I did was I zoomed out. Remember when I showed you on my screen behind me? I said zoom out and look at this chart, right? Look at this chart, which is the daily chart. And what do you see? Well, we're nowhere near losing our EMA ribbon. And where did the bounce come? Right from the top of the EMA ribbon. And this is showing tremendous strength. I know it's counterintuitive, particularly yesterday when everybody's FOMOing and they're really worried. But that's what you got to get used to, guys. When that day happened yesterday, when you're down 2.9%, whatever it was yesterday, and then suddenly you're getting a 3% today, there's a reason for that. The last time we consolidated, we came close to our EMA ribbon, got a big move to the upside. This time we pulled back, big move to the upside. Now we need to go higher. We've got to get above 31 now, because otherwise it's going to fizzle out. We're either going to go into a triangle, or we're going to start falling to the downside. And if we fall to the downside, that's where the price action is saying, I want a deeper retest. I actually want to go down. I want to see, is there any strength here, right? At 27,700 into the EMA ribbon. I want to come and test this level here to see if there's any strength, and potentially a little bit lower as well to see what's going on here, okay? So that's what I'm looking out for. And again, if we want to come to 27,700, the market's going to get upset, right? Market is really, really emotional. Look at this. Free ingredients sitting at 58. It was 68 just a little while ago. Right? Just because of 2.9% down day yesterday, markets lose it because you've got a bunch of new people in the market now who think everything is easy. They think that this Bitcoin price action is just going to go 30, 40, 50, 60, and so they're putting their money in. What they don't realize is it's still a very, very volatile asset class. You still have a lot of liquidations. Over-eager longs, over-eager shorts, constantly getting liquidated. So that is why for me personally, if we see a higher high above 31, great. On we go with our uptrend, and we can hold 31 and off we go, right? We can retest 31 later on. So you can do something like this, go past 31, work your way up, and then maybe come test 30, and then off you go, right? Perfectly fine with that. But if we don't, and we need a deeper retest down to 27,700, I'm okay. I would take a nibble round here because that's going to be a juicy level where markets are quite fearful. But for me, that would be a nice little buy. Look how much support we have here at 27,700. Also worth looking at the dollar index. You guys know the dollar index is inversely correlated to crypto markets. So we need this to continue to show weakness on the downside. And you can see the last 2 days leading into today were strong days for the dollar index. But it's okay for it to have strong days. We've spoken about this before. Look at the 4 days the dollar index had here. As long as we reject it from the EMA ribbon and continue to keep it in a downward trend, that's fine. So if it wants to have a couple of days like it did over the last 2 days, no problem. But again, look how it gets rejected from the EMA ribbon. Now we need to capitalize on that and keep pushing it down for a lower low. So just like we need a higher high on Bitcoin, we need a lower low on the dollar index for this move to continue to extend to the downside for the dollar index. Okay, so eventful times as always here in the crypto market, guys. Bitcoin showing good strength right now in the market, and it's definitely not something I want to be out of the market in. In terms of Algorand, I still hold Algorand. I'm not going to panic. And in fact, this is certainly not going to make me panic. If anything, if it was just this thing in isolation, I would actually really feel positive about Algorand. It'd be something I'd want to be holding on to. It's going to bring a lot of attention and eyeballs to Algorand. But of course, you guys know, I've been sharing updates over the last year or so saying that I've been very disappointed in the marketing efforts of Algorand. So there's nothing to do with what we're seeing from the SEC. And again, I'll link that video up for you guys from when I made it before so you can get an idea into how I'm feeling about the project. I still don't think they've sorted out some of those marketing elements. And for that reason, I'm still tentative about my position. I'm certainly not adding to my position. I haven't done so for a very long time and made that public to you guys as well. But I'm also not going to panic sell right now. It's a small measured part of my portfolio and I want to see how this plays out. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to smash up likes. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out this video here and I'll see you in the next one.